Now, following the release of Fire and Fury Inside the Trump White House, this is a controversial book written by Michael Wolff. The president and the White House has been in damage control. Now, for one, of course, everybody in the White House is denying this. Oh, no. All this stuff is made up. It's fabricated. It's not true. And then you have Trump himself tweeting out things like, I authorized zero access to the White House. Actually turned him down many times. For author of phony book. I never spoke to him for book. Full of lies, misrepresentations, and sources that don't exist. Look at this guy's past and watch what happens to him and Sloppy Steve. Sloppy Steve. I'm sorry. Like, Sloppy Steve? For some reason, it makes me think of Scuba Steve, and I know I have a YouTube viewer that goes by that name, so I apologize, but that's what it makes me think of. Now, anyway, so Trump has all these denials, and, well, those denials might not be true. And this is coming from somebody who's actually in the Trump orbit. This is Sebastian Gorka. Now, The Hill reports that former White House advisor Sebastian Gorka says that he was instructed to cooperate with the author Michael Wolff for the book Fire and Fury while he was working at the White House last year. Writing an op-ed for The Hill on Monday, Gorka said that he was at one point instructed to play ball with Wolff, but that he took the honorable position of declining because he thought the author was basically out there to damage the president. Well, he might be right about that. So he writes, when I met Michael Wolff in former Chief of Staff Reince Priebus' office, where he was waiting to talk to Steve Bannon, and I after him, and after I had been told to also speak to him for his book, my attitude was polite but firm. Thanks, but no thanks. Our brief encounter reinforced my gut feeling that this oleaginous scribe had no interest in being fair and unbiased. So I probably didn't say that word right, but I'm gonna have to look that up later. So, okay, here's two things, right? Now, for one, yes, does this undermine the president's argument that he had zero access? Yes, absolutely, because he was in Priebus's office and he was talking to Steve Bannon. He obviously had access. He was there. Again, consider the Bannon quotes that weren't alt-right refuted, right? He had access. He was actually there. Now, secondly, and I love this. This is probably my favorite part. Notice how Gorka is setting himself up to look good in the president's eyes, because that's what it's all about. Got to look good for the big man, right? So he said he was approached, and he said no, and that, of course, was designed to paint him in a better light for Trump. So he's saying, hey, man, look, it wasn't me. I didn't say anything to him. You can't attribute any of those quotes to me. I knew he was up to no good in the beginning. Okay. Now, in a text to The Hill, Gorka, and this is another interesting part, because he said that he was told to cooperate with the book. Maybe ordered isn't the right word, but he was told, hey, look, they're doing this book. Go and talk to this guy. Well, who ordered him? Well, in a text to The Hill, Gorka did not say who had asked him to speak with Wolff, but that it was not Trump or Bannon. So who could it be? I don't know. The only other person mentioned in Gorka's op-ed is Priebus, who did not respond to requests for comment. So is it Reince Priebus? I don't know. Maybe. Which would be very, very interesting. Again, I'm assuming that Reince Priebus is now pouring Baileys on his cereal. I keep going back to that. Every time, man, every time. Now, in a subsequent tweet, Gorka said the request to work with Wolff came externally, but again, we don't know. So, were you ordered, or did they ask you, and the source apparently was external? I don't know. Right? Again, Gorka, not exactly the most trustworthy, and really, I think this is an attempt by him to make him look good, but at the same time, kind of proves that he did have access. So again, I wonder who ordered this. Now, Trump, I believe him when he says it wasn't Trump, because he didn't really care much at all about who he's talking to. As long as they listen, he only cares about himself. So Is Trump like, no, go talk to this guy for me, right? Probably not. There's a possibility, but likely not. Now, here's the thing, right? Now, I've noticed that there's a lot of controversy about the sources in this book and whether or not the book is actually true. Now, I think there is a lot of accounts in the book that are true, and I think some that are likely embellished, or at least come from a certain place. Now, I'm still reading through it myself. So, and what I've read so far, it actually does match up to what other insiders have said about the Trump White House, about how it functions. But nonetheless, I'm open to the fact that there are accounts that are different. It might not be entirely 100% honest and trustworthy, right? Now, Wolff's basis for these accounts are from different aides and advisors. Now, they publicly defend Donald Trump to a T, but as we know from other leaks and other sources, well, they also make fun of him behind the scenes. They call him an idiot. And that's one of the biggest things that they call him, other than childlike. So he is childlike, and he's an idiot, according to a lot of these sources, who, again, behind the scenes, say those things and worry privately about Trump starting a nuclear war with North Korea. Yet publicly they're like, no, I can't believe you would say anything about the president. These leaks are absolutely deplorable. We gotta clamp down on that. I mean, we really gotta, get rid of them leakers. We gotta kick them out. Sessions, get on it, buddy. Get on it. They're the leakers. But anyway, look, this is what we've heard, again, from other leakers. So I think that this book is more true than it is false, based on the other accounts that have been reported. Now, these aides and advisors dispute Wolff's book, but I think they're mainly doing it because of damage control. Oh, no, I didn't say that. You took me out of context. And is it possible they were taken out of context in some accounts? Absolutely. But the way that I see it is that I think these people, in talking to Wolff, were giving their perspective of a White House that is deeply dysfunctional, chaotic, and most importantly in this context, competitive. So you have different factions inside of the White House fighting for supremacy. You had the establishment wing versus the Bannon wing, which of course is now gone. It's actually more establishment than it is anti-establishment now. So that's important to note. So the establishment is essentially won when it comes to the Trump administration. And yet you have people out there, hilariously enough, saying, Donald Trump, he drained the swamp. He's draining the swamp. No, he actually kicked out all the outsider influence, other than, I think, Stephen Miller. And most of the guys that are on the Trump team are now establishment guys. Way to go. But anyway, those accounts, are some of them embellished or lacking context? Absolutely. But generally, the point of the book, despite its inconsistencies, despite some of those issues, has actually already been proven thanks to the response. The whole point of the book is to point out how dysfunctional the White House actually is and how nobody there actually knows what they're doing. That has already been proven. I mean, look at it this way. All right. Another way that the book has been proven to be true is the reaction to it. For example, the evisceration of Bannon, right? Bannon did not deny those quotes. Yes, he said, oh, no, and he sometimes took them out of context. What are you talking about, Donald Jr.? I think he's an absolute patriot. No, the damage is already done. Trump believes Bannon quotes. So, yes, he does believe that this a lot of this stuff in this book, or some of it, or else he wouldn't have made such a big public break with Steve Bannon. So, and he wouldn't be working so hard to actually shut this down. And then, of course, there's the tweets about Trump being a stable genius, and the lawsuit that has backfired spectacularly in their faces. So, if you want to know if anything's true when it comes to the Trump administration, whether a rumor or not is true, just look at their response to it. Because I think if there's something that's so outlandishly false that's being levied against an administration, And you look at the reaction as, what are you going to do, right? Yeah, of course it's not real. Anyway, moving on. Then, okay, you can pretty much bet that that allegation, again, is false. I mean, look at President Obama, and every time they brought up the birth certificate, he even showed his birth certificate. So, and they still ran with this ridiculous idea that, no, he was born in Kenya, he's not actually an American. Well, when it comes to the Trump White House, anything that comes out, well, that is remotely true, you can tell because they push so hard back against it. So, again, I think this book proves the point, and that Trump proves the point of the book every time he tweets in rage against it. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.